So me no can say pictures here show on the screens no so for opinion friend Prince Elisha Osei Kofi or the founder of the Grace Family Church. Now your brand updates about pay we trying to need actually buying just a very sad thing because you'll be a very prominent and very popular man of God. Now there are questions I'm going to be brief. I say how come say this particular man of God he died so early? Earlier reporting just so collapse say he went into a coma. He must know he already same be brave. But me no can say for the official press statement about out. And also far from that to certain people who had encounters with this particular man of God, no, they are out and they are speaking now. Yeah, the pictures and the videos, but two screens, no, so for you to see those who are talking. But before then, no, you shared the official press release your family members, no. Omudia Babe Tuja. It will share the if it was screens, so this is coming from the family members of a year software we trying to need. Everyone is actually talking about. So they are giving us the full details as to what really happened. Until share the whole screens, so you can read it as with Grace Family Church International, and this is a official public notice. Or say the Bushapeni and elders of the Amokuma Tankam Ahinkra Anona family, Dutch Commander Elmina Sekendi, together with the eminence prophetic Archbishop Elisha Salif Amwakum, President of the National Prophetic and Apostolic Churches Council NPACC, and General Overseer of the Life Chapel International and Archbishop General of Binfo George Slezer Ofuri Arthur, and other world bishops and clergies are Philadelphia, USA. Also, with heartfelt but anchored in the hope of resurrection, we announce the passing of our beloved son, Prophet Prince Elisha Osei, the founder and the general overseer of the Grace Family Church International. He departed this life after a cardiac arrest on Friday, 13 February 2026. So contrary to what people were saying, so now the family is telling us, say, Papino, he died after he had a cardiac arrest. This unexpected loss has deeply affected the family, wife and children, the church and all who knew him. Prophet Prince Elisha Osei was a devoted servant of God whose life, teachings and spiritual guidance touched many souls. His legacy of faith and love and dedication for God's work will remain in our hearts. Funeral arrangements into a traso na ye or say funeral arrangements, okay, will be officially communicated to the public in due course. The family respectfully urges the general public to refrain from spreading unverified information, false statements, abusive comments regarding his passing. Any person found circulating falsehood or defamatory statements will be dealt with in accordance with the laws of the land. We kindly request privacy, respect, and prayers during this difficult time. We appreciate the prayers, support, and condolences received so far. So this is coming from one of almost spokesperson, a friend Nana Kujo Danso, both are our family head. So what he is telling us here, right here, is that Prophet Prince Elisha Osei Kofi, he died of cardiac arrest. So proud, and contrary to in some manner, it is oh papa no or yare no okuma no. If you shall say there be cardiac arrest, and as also fui onya somewhere on the 13th of February 2026. No hospital no. It's as simple as that. A heart attack, cardiac arrest, heart attack, and a chain. Now I was telling you, say same way about there are many people na omoni papi esanya omosomba be omokasa papi sebio. Contrary to how certain people believe and how certain people perceive, sebio oye nipa or your kronkronia they don't participate. He had issues and he had certain encounters. In fact, if you say papi otimi Akuffo bi bottom. Yes, otimi ndro Akuffo bi the bottom. Don't take my word for it. Take nipa ye kwakwo in the video friend Nessa or your TikTok personality with over 500,000 followers and the encounter or have it with this particular manner to her any the papa in same bebre. You should be doing babaka.
Lots of people were asking, why didn't I ever talk about it? And I'm now talking about it. I did. I spoke about it in 2018. I spoke about it on Facebook because that was where I used to be active. I spoke about it to the extent that some of the church people had even come under my comment sections writing all sorts of things. And I spoke about it to the extent that he called me on a Thursday evening. I was on my way to Kolebu because a friend of mine was scheduled for surgery the next day. A friend that he knows of. A friend that there's more to this. And I get it. Because people are expecting me, talk about things. You need to talk about it. But the thing is, there's a lot to things. You don't just talk about it. I can easily do a story time. I can easily do a narration. But there's so many stems connecting to a lot of people. So it will take a lot of wisdom. It will take time on how I'll have to communicate that information out there. And I stated in my video, if I am ready and comfortable, I will share because it is a real life thing. What we say, not a single point made. Of course. Video where I may hear and it was not a story time or a narration. Na me cancel. But one thing I'm hearing is that I highlighted an incident that happened publicly and even posted the name of the church boldly on the video. But you could not sit down for a moment and say, wait a minute, irrespective of what. How did this really happen? Did it really happen? Was it real? Was it fake? Let me do none. And this proves the whole point of the fact why in Akuffo to me back out and bekasa.
Therefore, far from that to some lady or some so a follow up at the video for a buy a can send be video back a bit to us.
I just received the news that Prophet Elisha Osei is dead due to cardiac arrest. Out of respect for his wife, I will not talk about certain things that transpired when it has to do with personal stuff. I want to thank God Almighty for giving me wisdom and strength to turn down certain things. And that didn't become my story to share. Could that be a story to share by others? That's up to them. We said, so why are you talking about this? Why would you want to address this? Because maybe a man say things like what? Things like making somebody run mad in the house of God. I mean butt naked. Because the bear Mrs. Sunin na entire jawa sorry demu and nobody saw anything wrong with that. Like lies, manipulation, in your maybe, and you come to recently go on social media like, wait a minute, could it be it was settings or not? Like, what, which is which? And it starts to makes you question so many things in your faith. People have their stories to tell. Wow, and it's maker say, I wish say papa netiasie because in your maybe mentiasie besine. But again, say damn feel say me comfortable to do a narration of some of the things that happen. Na me bisa mubi ni leaders ni be say, is this right? Is it not? And when things like this happen, how is it handled?
Therefore, in some way, and a year lady at the 2 job patches and never be break or so. I know patches at the point in time, but pay to me be meaning saying, Yankuma Diana, the nim nurse will be up or down a when Yankupon if ye, I would join who cry on Tiasia. Are all of these things, no, at the end of the day, no, and send me break. And you will be besides, why did he sleep with you? Because that's a lady, no, what can't be that's a soft would be a cast up a sword and a da. And now, uti some more kind one, what did the about say? Thank God for giving me that courage to say no to certain things. So clearly, you know, near maybe cause so I don't know if ultimately she had an encounter with this particular man of God, on no papa no esene pa na papa no eye nsem but ultimately we share statement aye family members no so e dey ababe to ja no mo kire say they will take legal action against any person or can be against papa na oni ntina so lady na kasa o say mi pemu no ono so oba be kasa be sisi a sabio yenya nsie ni ye de e wo say sabio di ebuo ene ni die ema papa na yere ene ne mba. So that is exactly what is really going on. You need the indemnity, and we'll definitely be giving you more updates as all of these various events continue to escalate right here